Welcome to the party, pal. You're from the neighborhood Master Chaos, back with you once again. And I've got questions. I've got a lot of questions about this. I think I have more questions than I do thoughts and feelings, if that makes any sense. Why? Why? Let's try to get to the bottom of it today on this episode of Master Chaos TV.
Back from the dead.
Cardona Collection Volume 1. Now, they've told us that we are going to at least expect 2 more of these things. And I guess we'll start there. Why? Why did they go all in, dare I say, balls deep, into the Cardona Collection? Was it a bet? Was it, a dare? I'm so confused. I'm very confused by this. Here, specifically, they said Cardona Collection, Volume 1 of 3. And the box has a built-in gimmick, so you can, slam them all together. It's nice, but I don't get the magnet gimmick. I feel that's a strange gimmick. It doesn't really affect the movies necessarily, but it just adds to the greater question as to why. Why? Color me hesitant when I got this box set as a subscriber. And this is, if you're keeping track with my reviews, this is the last thing I'm tackling from that box set, that whole halfway to Black Friday sale situation, because I was the least interested in this, but I figured, I have it, might as well share my thoughts, and I'd love to hear your thoughts as well in the comments down below. Cardona Collection, let's get into it. What the hell is going on in this box set? I will say, amazing artwork, beautiful artwork, very nicely laid out here. It's gorgeous. The slip, I think, really only reflects the events of one movie, which is odd, because there's 3 movies on here, but this is all very indicative of the first movie we're going to be talking about. Here's a warning, if you have not gotten this. I don't know if this happens to everybody. I'm going to open this carefully because, yep, this Emery case sucks. Treasure of the Amazon is always falling out of here. I don't know if that happens to anybody else. The disc does not look scratched, but it just doesn't. And I don't know if it's just manufacturing error. I don't know if I should contact Vinegar and say, hey, my Emery case for this thing sucks. But it always slips out. It always slips out. So keep that in mind for what it is. I'll put my finger on it while we talk about Treasure of the Amazon. Now, I was going to try and rank these movies, but I'll be honest, they all feel very similar in the fact that they're too long, a little too drawn out, and frankly not very interesting.
What? No.
It's true. It's 100% true. Treasure of the Amazon. What is it? What you have here is a treasure hunt movie in the Amazons. Wouldn't you know it? It's, I would say, probably the best in the box set because it's got the most going on and the most diversity of imagery and the best cast, in my opinion. Is it a good movie? Yeah, I'll go as far as saying it's a good movie. Is it a great movie? No, none of these are great. But Treasure of the Amazon, I think I had the most fun with. You got Donald Pleasance playing a Nazi, and he's chewing up the scenery and his little bits here and there. You got ample nudity. You got a little bit of gore. It's not very cannibal, so don't go in expecting a super lensy spectacular here. It's not very cannibalistic, which is the good news. It's not a very gross movie. And there's no snakes biting people on the ass, by the way, which I don't know if you noticed that happens on the cover. There's no ass biting snakes. That would have been amazing, but there's none. Ample nudity. Some bullshit about diamonds in a little river. That's the heart of the actual treasure of the Amazons. That's what it is, by the way. So there's a couple diamonds in a river. It's a half-baked Indiana Jones type of movie with semi-competent performances. You got a couple of really well-known people in this movie. It moves along, it clips along. It's no Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. That, to me, is the high point, the gold standard of low-budget Indiana Jones-type knockoffs. Treasure of the Amazon is just kind of okay. It's a fine movie, and I'll never rewatch it again. And that's indicative of every movie on this set. So be prepared to hear that again from me. I liked it. I never want to watch it again. I have no interest in revisiting this. It's not something that I go, you know what, I'm going to watch that one with commentary. I can give a shit. Incidentally, if you're new here, please do consider subscribing. If you do, we'll get to hang out again. And I do appreciate your time, and I appreciate you sharing that time with me. If you're old here, welcome back. Make sure you leave me a thumbs up. Happy to see you once again. Back to the video. Next up, Triangle, the Bermuda Mystery, because they misspell mystery. They misspell mystery, and they don't go out of their way to correct it. No, they're going to keep it mystery. That's indicative of what kind of movie this is. Now, all of these movies are international co-productions. And on the special features, Rene Cardona III, who's recently passed away, rest in peace, sir, he speaks to the fact that all these movies were shot 3 times. English, Italian, and Spanish. So, I'm not going to bust their balls over misspelling the title, but I feel somebody should have fucking caught that. How does nobody catch that? Anyway, small nitpick. Triangle, the Bermuda Mystery is, I mean, all these movies are nearly 2 hours. Is a slow, plotting, haunted house on a boat type of movie, which could have been great, but it's not. You know, it focuses around a haunted doll that was found in the ocean and belonged to a little girl, or maybe it was a little girl that turned into a doll. There's a lot of mystery to this movie that is not cleared up. And sometimes it works for it, and sometimes it doesn't. The fact is, there is almost no narrative drive in this movie. It's the same with the third one we're going to be talking about, the next one we're going to be talking about. There's no narrative drive, there's no narrative thrust. The characters are just sort of existing. You almost feel like you're on fucking vacation with these people, spending day in and day out on this boat, and a couple of random things happen. Then a couple of other random things happen. And then a couple of other random things happen. There's no point in the story where it feels like, okay, now we're in Act 2. Okay, now we're going into Act 3. And the movie just kind of stops, by the way. This is one of those movies where there's no build-up to the big finale because there is no build-up. It's just characters existing and trying to figure out what's happening. But nothing in this movie works with any kind of agency to either drive the plot or drive the characters or drive the situation. And that's frustrating and boring. Boring!
Boring!
The best part of Triangle is the fact that John Huston appears in the film as an actor. The weirdest thing, of course, is that he looks like a grandpa. He's got to be 70-something, 80 years old. And he's playing the dad to teenagers, and he's got a youngish wife. So I guess it's possible. But it's odd. It's odd that he could have easily just played the grandpa. But the fact that he plays the dad to young kids and he's got a young wife, it's just weird. It's, again, not unheard of. That happens in the world. But, I don't know. It's a weird choice. Just make him the fucking grandpa. Why can't he just be the grandpa? It's weird. What you have here is probably the worst Bermuda Triangle movie ever. Because it's not even about the Bermuda Triangle. It's about a haunted doll. And then the characters sort of hear other Bermuda Triangle stuff happening. Part of it at times felt like a documentary about the Bermuda Triangle, but it was about events happening to other people, not our heroes, who, to all intents and purposes, aren't really caught in the Bermuda Triangle. I'm not going to give away the ending, but it's one of those very unsatisfying films that builds up to nothing, because there really is no build-up. You just sort of a slow, steady roll to the end credits. And that's disappointing. Again, I'll never rewatch Triangle, the Bermuda Mystery, with an eye, not too wise. Lastly, in this first volume is Cyclone, and this is the one I dragged my ass with the most. Mainly because I dreaded the fact of spending 2 hours with these people on a boat. And that's exactly what it is. It's a very boring, drawn out, plotless, agency-less movie. Again, no narrative drive, no thrust in the story, nothing. People just sitting on a boat waiting to die. Boring, 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 to say the least. Nothing interesting here, except for the fact that there is a story going around that there was a dog that was actually killed on set. According to Brad Henderson himself, he asked Carol Baker, who stars in the film, and she said no, the dog was not killed. However, we're going to be talking towards the end about the inherent problem with all these movies, and that involves animal abuse. That might turn off a lot of you, and hopefully it'll turn off most of you, because there's no excuse for hurting anyone, anything, any creature to make a goddamn movie. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. Especially when you're doing something like this. Cyclone is about a bunch of people that are thrown together after a hurricane, which for some reason they call it a cyclone, thrown together to survive on this glass-bottom boat in the middle of the ocean after a hurricane devastates the area. They've got nothing to eat. People are dying from, different illnesses. It's kind of the whole, cannibalism to survive type of movie. But it doesn't really go there graphically, which I thought it would, but it didn't. It's just a really boring, sweaty movie about people sitting around on a boat. I will never rewatch this. If, at gunpoint, I had to pick one movie to rewatch, it would probably be Treasure of the Amazons. Cyclone would be at the bottom of my list. And as far as rankings go, Treasure, Mystery, Cyclone. Cyclone way at the bottom. This is a boring, dull movie that, to me, offers really nothing of interest, and something I will warn people away from. If you're on the fence about getting this box set, I'll tell you my thoughts towards the end, but this is the one you'll probably want to skip altogether.
It's awful. It's all fucking awful! It's all of it, and every single one of them sucks!
Now let's talk about the inherent problem with all these movies. Animal abuse. Cyclone features sort of the death of a dog, but not really. I mean, jury's still out on that. She might just have had to say that, but I don't know. It looked pretty good. It looked pretty dang good. Triangle Bermuda Mystery shows the deaths of sharks and various parrots. I'm not going to say how the parrots play in. I don't want to spoil that, but there's a lot of beheaded parrots, and they're real parrots. There's no way that they're going to spend, they don't have any money and time. How are they going to spend money and time to make fake birds? They're not gonna. They're going to kill real birds. So, keep that in mind. And Treasure of the Amazon, from what I remember, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't remember there being a lot of animal stuff in this. I might be mistaken. I think there might be a pig or something like that. But the problem with these movies is that there is a just lack of accountability when it comes to the way animals are treated. As a matter of fact, every time an animal showed up on screen, I was worried for its life, because you never fucking know. And that's kind of scary. It's scary to worry about the filmmakers and not have yourself, I entrusted myself into your hands, show me a good time, but be worried that they're going to fuck up some animals. That's not cool. It's not cool in my book. Add to that the fact that the movies are very boring and lackluster and uninteresting. You get a pretty lame duck box set, in my opinion. It's disgusting. Needless to say, this is a pass for me. If you were on the fence, don't buy it. It's you're not going to get anything from it. As a matter of fact, I plan to sell this off as soon as all three come in. I'll review all the box sets, because that's what I do here as a YouTuber. If I didn't have YouTube, I wouldn't pick them up at all. But as a subscriber, I get them anyway. But that's sort of where I'm coming from in terms of having it in my collection. I'm going to wait for all three to come out. Magnetize them all together. You can put on your fridge, by the way, if you wanted that. Magnetize them all together. Wait for them to go out of print. And then I'll excuse them from my collection to somebody who really, really wants to have a complete Vinegar Syndrome collection. I don't need that. I want to make sure I'm keeping what I love, keeping what I appreciate. And I don't appreciate the Cardona collection, and I'm kind of bummed that we're getting 2 more of these. Do the movies get better? Probably. I don't know. I've never seen his work, so I can't honestly speak to that. But I'll tell you that I'm not excited to watch them regardless.
Disappointed!
That'll do, Bugaboo. Thank you for joining me for this box set review. Let me know, did you have the same experience with the Cardona collection as I did? Were you a fan? Were you a hater? Let me know in the comments down below. By the way, I wouldn't really call myself a hater. Just somebody who was severely disappointed by the box set. A disappointer? A disappointee? Regardless, let me know your thoughts down below. I'm curious. Two-way conversation here on Master Chaos TV, as always. And remember this. I love you. I love you just the way you are. Take care of yourself. It gets better. I promise you. Hang in there for me. And hang in there for yourself. Until we meet again, this is your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos signing off for now.